let's take your videos looking like this to this. In this video, I'm gonna be breaking down how I set up my YouTube studio with my 4 different lights, the importance of buying the exact same brand, and the advantages that it brings. And also a quick shout out to Newer for hooking up the lighting in my studio, for getting this all sent over so I can talk about these products. And honestly, I was pretty impressed by every single one. So without further ado, let's dive in. So let's start off with the overhead lighting right here. This is going to be the CB300 RGBWW. So basically what that means is this is my overhead lighting that is a bicolor light. So it can go from a warm 2200, 2500 Kelvin all the way to 7500 Kelvin. This I just have rigged right overhead using a very pole, and I have this just mounted up with a super clamp up there. But the greatest part here is you can also make this into an RGB light, and you can have a bunch of different colors. So when you want a different look in the background, I have this back here if I want to pop a different color. Typically the way I'm setting this up for my YouTube studio though is I'm going to be going at around 20 to 500 to 3000 Kelvin, and I'm going to be bringing that down to 3%. So the second light, I actually bought this light myself, is going to be this RGB1 tube light. You have full control right here on the side of this bar, and it's completely magnetic right both here. So you can just pop this onto metal or a refrigerator or just little small areas, and this actually makes it extremely useful. Typically in this setup right here, I'll go to the app, I'll select my preset color, and then I'm just gonna throw this light, and it just adds a pop of color in the background. My next light is going to be the TL60 RGB light. This is a very similar light where you have that touch control again. So this is a very similar light where you have that full RGB control and color. You also do have that bicolor control as well. So if you want to go all the way from 2500 Kelvin all the way to 10,000 Kelvin, so you can change the color temperature in the back. And then you have the brightness from 60 watts all the way down to 0%. So you can even like make this more of a neutral look like this and have something super clean. And then the last light is going to be my key light right here, which is the FS230 bicolor light. Again, similar to all the other lights, this is a 230 watt light, so this produces a little bit more power than these two lights. Then I have the 300 watt light up here, so if I do need 2 powerful lights, I have 2 really powerful lights from Newer that are the exact same brand. Similar to this light, this is going to be going from 2700 Kelvin to get this super warm look all the way to 6500 Kelvin, which is again the super cool look. Typically, I stay around 5500 to 5600 Kelvin, which is standard daylight temperature. And then right now, this light is only at 5%, but you do have a heck ton of power if you do want to mess with this. And a little bit ironically, the diffusion I'm using on my key light is also from Newer as well. This is an umbrella diffusion. So what I'm doing is a pop-up umbrella that you bounce into a white umbrella. So it's white diffusion on the inside, and then it bounces through a diffusion layer. So it's acting as a book light, which is just bouncing light and then bouncing it through diffusion. So it creates a really soft looking light and look to my face. The only downside with this type of control is you don't control the fall off as much. So when it's just this light is hitting over here and it's not focusing just on me. So it spills a little bit more in comparison to a normal softbox. But in my personal opinion, I prefer having this softer look over the more directional focused light. But specifically in a YouTube setup, the big advantage of having your lights in the studio be the exact same is purely for app control. So during this entire time as I'm talking, I'm able to turn off the lights and show you what each light is doing individually. So for example, so this is just the key light lighting the entire subject, me in the image. If I want to show you what the background or my top light, the CB300 is doing, this is just adding a little bit of texture on my skin and adding a little bit of fill in the background. Turn that one off, I can show you what just this RGB1 tube light, the tiny tube light, is doing. And then lastly, if I want to show you just what the TL60 is doing, is going to be that. And again, I can simply go in here, make this blue, and I can just show you what that is doing instantly to the image. Now, the greatest part is once I want to have everything dialed in, I can turn on all my lights and you can see what the final image looks like. And that's the greatest part about using an app right here. Being able to control all your lights fine tune your different settings is huge, especially even if you're not just in a YouTube studio environment and you're filming for a commercial, for a client. Being able to control all your lights using just one app because they're all the exact same brand makes a big time saver when you're on set, but also when you're filming in a YouTube studio like this, and do that. If you guys are interested in purchasing any of the products I'm talked about today, there is going to be links in the description if you're interested. All of those do support my channel and support me personally. And if you're interested in learning my honest thoughts on what I consider the best YouTube camera, check out that video right there. YouTube recommends you might like this video right here. Till next one, guys, peace.